City Council meeting of April 15, 2025 has come to order. Can we stand up for Pledge of Allegiance? Mr. Chavez, Joey, can you lead us in Pledge of Allegiance? Please remain standing for the moment of silence for the first responders and the military members. Please be seated. Monica, may I have roll call, please?
Roll call. Councilmember Roth.
Present.
Councilmember Upal.
Present.
Councilmember Wallace.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Samra.
Present.
For the record, Mayor Moran is not in attendance.
Thank you. Council, any changes to the agenda? Staff? I'm sorry, were you going to say something?
Potential change to the agenda. I'd like to recuse myself from item 4 on consent. And so if we could pull that item potentially separate from the rest of the consent agenda.
Are you, okay.
For the record, real quick, I'm sorry. For the record, I have a familial connection to Jatinder Man. He also wanted me to let everybody know that he isn't going to be able to be in attendance tonight. He's at a family function, one that I hope to join soon. But yeah, I will be recusing myself from item 4.
Thank you. Council, any other changes to the agenda? Okay, if not, then we'll move on to citizen comment. This section of the agenda allows members of the public to address the city council on any item not on the agenda. Members of the public when recognized by the mayor should come forward to the lectern and identify themselves. Comments are normally limited to 3 minutes. In accordance with state open meeting laws, no action will be taken by the city council this evening. Anybody in the audience have citizen comment? Now, this is not on the agenda. This is a citizen comment. Okay. Joy, can you?
I think I got it. Good evening, Vice Mayor, Mayor, and council members. Joey Chavez, 1211 J Street here in Livingston. Just real quick on this consent item. I've been wanting to come a long time. I work for a city, for the city of Ceres. It really irritates me at Memorial Park where you have a park and you have cars driving onto the grass to use that shelter. You know, I know how Public Works is. I work with parks, facilities. People driving over the sprinklers, probably breaking heads. We don't know. Do we have parties? Do I attend parties that people do it? I do it. I tell them I don't like it just because there's a parking spots. There's people where they should park, not on the grass and just pulling up a right. I seen the barricades there, but it's to avoid the barricades and go. I really personally think something should be done. You know, I don't know if they should be warned, cited, but I think we need to make a stance. We need to protect our parks. And this is not just at Memorial Park, this is all our parks. So that's my comment on that one. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chavez. Anybody else from the public in the audience? Or citizen comment?
Good afternoon. My name is Mario Mendoza. I'm at 1441 Swan Street. I just wanted to make an official welcome back, Mr. Ramirez. We did miss you. You know, like I always say, you got my support 100%. And I hope all the businesses that you were supposed to bring back in the day when you were, you know, removed from, you know, from your being city manager. Hopefully they come back. And with that being said, I just want to say welcome back, and you have my full support all the time, as you know. And I hope Livingston keeps on growing with your help. Thank you very much. That's it. Thank you.
Anybody else from the audience?
Leo Castillo, resident, business owner. Just want to let you go. And I attend the council meetings for the most part all the time, unless there's something personal or family going on. Today I have an event with the family, so I'll be leaving early. So I won't be here like I normally am. Thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else in the audience? Since no one's coming forward from the audience, anybody online on the phone that wish to comment on citizen comment? Since we don't hear anybody, we'll move on to announcements and reports. I don't see Supervisor Pacheco here, so staff announcements and reports. We'll start out with legal.
Nothing to report out this time, Mayor Pro Tem. I just wanted to say that it's been an honor to serve as the city attorney here in Livingston. I truly respect and admire the council, and the staff is an amazing staff to work with. As council knows and the public doesn't know yet, I've tendered my resignation as the city attorney, and I will be leaving in June. And I just wanted to let everybody know that this was my decision after a lot of thought and reflection. And I wish the city nothing but success in the future, and I look forward to watching in the news and seeing all the wonderful things that the council and the staff do for the residents of Livingston. You got a staff here that really, really loves the city and does so much with so little, as many small cities that we see in the valley do. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate you. Thank you for all your help. You guys make my job so much easier. That's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Santos. And I just want to say that no one likes lawyers, and I don't care for much either. However, I do want to thank you for all your legal opinions. Some of them I agree, some of them I didn't. But then I'm not an attorney, that's why we have you. But I also do want to thank you on behalf of the city and everybody else who did manage to get the city through some very difficult legal hurdles. That was a lot of work. We truly appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Public Works, anything? Engineering?
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and council and members of the community. Just a brief update on some of these ongoing projects is a quick thing. We have the two wells, the test well. The last sample was collected yesterday, so it's at the lab for analysis now. Well 8A, there's a lot of electrical work now, underground electrical work. So that's going. And I'm sure you've seen the work on 4th Street. So there's a long block there, about 1,000 feet. And it was pulverized here a couple of days ago, and it's all leveled and compacted and tested, pretty much ready for paving. And that's all I have. I'm glad to answer any questions.
Council, any questions for engineering? Thank you, Mario.
Thank you.
Recreation, any staff reports? Police Department, Chief, anything to report? And then we'll talk about your hot dog grilling.
That was it. You just ruined it. That was the whole. Department of Public Works and the Police Department, and then the entire mayoral council, or city council, showed up to Arcadian Park on Saturday for hot dog and grand opening of the Arcadian Park, which is a beautiful little park, and it was a great event. We did not run out of hot dogs, but it was very close, so it was very well attended. Everyone did a fantastic job. We appreciated all the help and had a lot of fun. Just as an update, We have hired a new police officer. He is under training. Keep in mind, that's 3 to 4 months before that officer is able to work by themselves, and a year before we're comfortable with their competency as a police officer, but we're rolling along. He's doing very well. We're very proud of him. And we have hired another officer that will start next week and another reserve that will be working part-time. That reserve's intention is to also be full-time when a spot becomes available. So we're working on full staffing. Full staffing means that we can do more outreach, we can do more with the community, and we're looking forward to doing that.
Council, any questions for Chief? Chief, just one thing. It's good to hear that you're moving forward with your recruitment for officers and reserve. How are we doing on as far as dispatchers?
We interviewed, I think, 21 dispatchers last Tuesday from almost 7 in the morning to 6 at night. We had to kind of get them all in one day. We got some very good candidates, and we're very excited about those people. We're looking for one permanent, and out of all those candidates, we need just one permanent and another reserve part-time. So that's looking very good.
Thank you, Chief. City Manager, anything to report? Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, I have a few items here. One, I mean, this is really fabulous news. It's been something that, of course, we've been working on for quite a few years. So I wanted to share with the residents and the business owners that Frontier Communications is going to be investing heavily here in the city of Livingston, and they're going to basically go fiber optic where residents are going to have access to 7 gigs and businesses all the way up to about 100 gigs. So that is just, I can't stress how happy I am with that, because that is certainly going to give us a big boost, and especially when it comes to economic development opportunities. So wanted to share that. I asked them to give a presentation to the public and to the council when they have an opportunity. They haven't given me a window yet, but this is something that is a for sure thing that's going to happen. So very happy to report on that. Second thing is, along with Jackie, we've been looking at different revenue sources for the Rexplex. I reached out to some foundations and some different organizations to see where we might be able to shake the tree a little bit more and get some additional funding. The third thing is I want to reinitiate the CDBG funding, going after funding that we can certainly leverage, and we did a lot of projects in the past on CDBG, and we want to be. I think we're very competitive, and we want to go after more funding in that category. And then lastly, I'm looking at working with my staff to identify a date that we can have a goal-setting strategic planning for the council and the community in general, so that we can just, gather in this room, get ideas from everybody, and kind of have a direction and give everybody an opportunity to provide input in those priority areas. That way, all of us can kind of be in the same page and go at least in the same direction. And that's all I have to report.
Thank you. Council, any questions of City Manager? Thank you, Mr. Ramirez. Thank you. I received your email regarding City Manager update. I was quite pleased to hear that Frontier is moving for fiber deployment with the city. It is also going to be beneficial to the city that and down the road, I'm not saying that if we want to partner with the city, with the high schools and others, for their monitoring their cameras, we can get dark fiber, and then we can get a fiber back, and even hook up our infrastructure through fiber between buildings and the city. It would be a lot easier for us to work with. So I hope they have a quick timeline, not years on out. I know that fiber can be deployed. It takes a while, but at least they're on the way. I had pretty much given up on Frontier for anything, but hopefully this will move us forward. With that, thank you. At the time, City Council Member reports. Mr. Roth?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. On the 5th, I attended 2 things in the city here. The Wolf Den had a ribbon cutting, as well as Santa Fe Market. They had their second grand opening. Then April 12th, I also attended the Archillian Playground opening. I would like to say something to Roy. Roy, I want to thank you for all the legal advice since you've been here, and I appreciate everything you've done for our city. That's it.
Councilmember Upel?
I attended the same exact events as Mr. Ross, so I'm not going to repeat them by name. Did test out the swings at Archillian. They were wonderful. Let the kids go first, though. Roy, I am not trying to be sad today, so I will thank you at a later date. But yeah, that's about it.
Mr. Wallace?
Yeah, the same two grand openings. I'd just like to make a comment. Due to inflation, when the city manager presented the plaques to the two, there were $2 bills in there, nice crisp $2 bills. I figured with inflation, a lot of nationalities figure a $2 bill is a lucky bill. So I'm hoping for both those businesses that that's going to come true. So, and the city did not supply it. It was given to, okay? It was provided by the city manager, and the other one that went to the Wolfgang I provided. I also attended Archillian Park. I did not stay, so that's why the chief did not run out of hot dogs. I'm just being stubborn. I'm supposed to be using a cane, and I don't like to use it. And if I stand still and not moving around a lot, I get a little not so steady on my feet, so I decided I better go home. Didn't want to have an ambulance or anything showing up there. For the lawyer, you have been great to me for maybe 5 months. And I don't think I've bothered you maybe 4 times over the phone when it was not normal, but you've taken care of everything I've asked you so far except for one, and you've got till June to get that straightened out for me. Then that's all I have to report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. And for me, first I want to say that it was great ribbon cutting for the playground equipment at Archillian. Chief did a good job on the hot dogs, and even though things took off a little bit slowly, shows teamwork. Public Works came in and helped you right up, and you guys teamed up, and everything was good. And I think we had a good turnout, and Councilmember Upel, I have to call him Japji this time because he really took the dibs on the swings, and for some reason he wanted to keep giving him, pushes on the. Why are we getting this? Thank you. I thought I was starting to hear myself talk, No, but with him asking me to give him push on the swings, I had to kind of wait because I didn't want people to think I'm pushing him around, so I just thought I'd back off on that one.
I'd just like to clarify for the record, at no point did I ask for a push. It was offered and I denied it.
No, but it was a great event. I'm glad everybody got to attend. And today we had as you know, that I also serve on the Mosquito Abatement Board, and today we had a meeting. As of April 7th, the new mosquito season has started. So if any folks have any issues with the mosquitoes, please give them a call or give a city a call, and I'm sure we'll get them out to come and look at you. And also, we had a tour of the new facility at the mosquito abatement on Beechwood. It was great, and we just wanted to let the council know that on Tuesday, May 6th at 10, we have a ribbon cutting for the new facility, and it's at 3478 Beechwood Drive. We'll have the information, so if you would like to attend, please let us know. And that's all I have to report at this time. And now we'll move on to item number 1. This is to receive and file. I'm not happy.
James, are you on the phone?
Yep. You guys hear me okay?
Yes. If you can let me know when to switch the PowerPoint.
Yeah. For sure. So there is a little bit of a delay between the stream and the phone. So there's about a 20-second delay. But I'll just get right into it here. So yeah, my name is James Butera. I'm a director with LSL CPAs, and just wanted to thank you all for another opportunity here to present. To the council, city manager, finance department for having us on here again. So kind of what my role is, I oversee the day-to-day operations and the financial statement issuance for the city of Livingston and their financial statement audit. So today, tonight we'll just kind of do a quick run through of the results of the fiscal year 2024 audit, answer any questions, and hopefully keep it brief. So next slide just kind of shows kind of the LSL team. We have a few other staff kind of below us who help with some of the work. But Brandon Young is a partner, and I'm the director, so we kind of work hand in hand, to facilitate, efficient and smooth audit and financial statement issuance. And, wasn't very long ago, last October, we were here presenting the 2023 financial statement audit, and we were sort of touching on some of the goals and the plans that the city and our firm set back in early 2022. And that goal was to get caught up and issued by the March 31st federal deadline for the city's fiscal year 2024. And, we're pleased to report that we achieved that goal, and all the reports were submitted timely, and any sort of untimely findings in the report have been removed for fiscal year 24. So the next slide just kind of touches quickly on just the scope of the engagement that we, performed on behalf of the city. So it just kind of outlines that we were engaged by the city to perform the financial statement audit and the single audit for the fiscal year ended June 30, 2024, in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards, government auditing standards, and the uniform guidance. So those three kind of go hand in hand, but they have some slight differences that we can kind of touch on quickly in a later slide as well. That just kind of gives the overview of sort of the scope and the time frame that we're looking at. So the next slide shows just the results of the audit. So that first bullet just indicates that we issued an unmodified auditor's opinion on the financial statements. And that just means that, the financial statements are accurate and reliable as of June 30, 2024. And, we performed various tests over the trial balance and financial statement balances that the city provides us. And, our opinion is that there are no materially misstated items in those financial statements. So any reader of the fiscal year 2024 financial reports, can make decisions and feel confident that there are no material errors there. So that first bullet kind of goes with the general accepted auditing standards from the previous slide. And then the internal control and compliance bullet here goes with the government auditing standards. And this is kind of what we do, some internal control evaluations. We walk through certain transaction cycles of the city, make sure that proper checks and balances are in play. And we do express a letter on those internal controls. We don't express an opinion on the controls specifically, but we will, report any material weaknesses or significant deficiencies. And we were happy to report that this year there were none. There were no material noncompliance with any laws or regulations or grants. We just caveat that material weaknesses or deficiencies may exist that were not identified. We're not here to check every single transaction and every, dollar. So, but items that we looked at, there were no deficiencies to note, which was great. The next slide touches on a letter that goes to members of governance. It's called the SAS 114 letter, but just more informally, it's an auto communication letter. And some of the highlights of that letter just indicate that we had no difficulties conducting the audit. We had no disagreements with management about any accounting principles. Any estimates used by management in preparing the financial statements, the financial kind of reports and trial balances were all reasonable, and that there was no fraud, waste, or abuse noted by us during the fiscal year of 24. So next slide just kind of touches on the changes from 2023 to 2024, and this is definitely what we're happy to report is that, if you do recall from the October presentation, there were 2 material weaknesses noted, finding 2023-001 and 002. So the first one had to do with submitting the single audit for fiscal year 2023 after the March 31st deadline, which would have been March of 2024. That was remedied this year, as I touched on earlier. And then the second finding had to do with some capital asset records and kind of internal reconciliations, and all of those items were corrected. So in the single audit report for 2024, there's a summary of prior year schedules, prior year schedule of findings and question costs, and we just indicated in that report as well that all those items from the prior year have been corrected. And then just the last slide next, just kind of touches on the single audit. So this single audit is, really going to vary year over year, whether it's required or not. So the threshold for single audit is if any city or agency spends $750,000 or more in a given fiscal year of federal money, they are required to have a single audit. And the federal government outlines specific compliance requirements and different tests for us to do straight from the Treasury. And for fiscal year 24, it was the Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Fund that was applicable to the city, otherwise known as ARPA. And it made up about $1.2 million of the CFA, which is the Schedule of Expenditures of Federal Awards. And the threshold for single audits, as mentioned, is $750,000. That is actually increasing to $1 million for fiscal year 2026 for all June 30 year ends. So just as as mentioned earlier, if there are increased CDBG or other grant federal programs, being looked at by the city, if any program or total program spend $1 million or more in fiscal year 26 and on, there would be a single audit for that. And just noted that, part of the disclosures is either a high or low risk auditee, and just as the nature of some of that late filing in fiscal year 23 required a high risk auditee status, but there were no ramifications and no impacts to anything as a result of that. So just did not factor into any of the procedures for this year. So all in all, clean audit from a financial and single audit perspective. Just definitely wanted to give kudos to Happy and his finance team for putting in a lot of long nights and long days over the last couple of years to get everything caught up. But we're looking at scheduling the fiscal year 25 audit here coming up in the fall, and having the city back on a regular scheduled cycle here moving forward. So on that, just any questions, be happy to answer. Then the slide after that just has some contact information, my email. If anything else comes up after the meeting, I'm happy to answer any questions from anyone.
Council, any questions?
Yeah, I have at least one. James, thanks for the presentation, brother. I heard you're in New York, and I'm hoping you're a basketball fan, which means that you were going to be up anyway. And thank you to you and to Happy and the rest of the finance team for this, 2-year sprint to get everything caught up. It's just really good to see. There's a section that we have on report on compliance and other matters. You stated in your presentation, and it's stated in the report, that it's not the objective nor the purpose of this audit to provide an opinion on our compliance. And even though we didn't find any material weaknesses or significant deficiencies, Is it within the scope of services if the city decides in the future for you guys to provide an opinion? And the only reason why I'm asking is because I'm always coming from a perspective of what we can do better. And so even if you're not necessarily looking for it, if you have an opinion on that, I'm always open to hearing what you guys have to say.
Yeah. So we do express an opinion on any sort of compliance with laws or regulations or grants. So that is part of the opinion letter. It's specifically for that government auditing standards in regards to internal controls specifically. We're required to perform an evaluation over those internal controls, but not to formally, detailed test, a super large sample of transactions per se. An example of that would be, potentially pulling 40, 50, or 60 checks and just ensuring that every single check, had the proper approval, invoice approvals, whatever the controls are that are set up. There's always, agreed upon procedure engagements too that can be done, and additional projects that could be kind of an enhanced scope if that's a direction the city's looking to go down. But in terms of, non-compliance or any sort of that, we do opine on that. It's just sort of the internal controls that we don't.
Definitely. Thank you. And then one other thing. This is obviously the final report. I'm assuming there's a bunch of raw data that went into this. I always like to see that if possible. I'm not sure how you guys work this. Is there any drive box through Outlook where this is all held, like one composite area? I'm not going to spend nearly as many hours digging through as you guys have. It's just nice to get an idea of what goes into this.
Yeah, so all of the financial statements and reports that we prepare are derived from the city's internal software and the trial balances within the Springbrook software. So the finance department should have all of those kind of raw data reports. And then what we do from our side is we send different grouping reports and mapping reports of all the different city accounts and how we group them for the financial statements. So the finance department should have those reports as well. If there's anything additional that maybe you're curious about or specific questions, we'd be happy to export any report that you're looking for.
Definitely. That's all I have. Thanks for your time, man. It means a lot.
Yeah, no problem.
Council, any other questions? Seeing none, does anybody in the public have any questions? Online? None? There is no action to take. It's just, do I need a motion to accept or legal?
I would do a motion to receive and file, yes.
Okay, council, at this time, I'm open for a motion to accept.
I'll make the motion to accept.
I have a motion by Councilmember Roth. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Councilmember Wallace. May I have roll call, please?
Roll call. Councilmember Roth.
Yes.
Councilmember Paul.
Yes.
Councilmember Wallace.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Sammer.
Yes.
Motion passes by a vote of 4-0.
Going on to, we already had a conflict. Does anybody have any conflicts to declare any items coming up? I know you already declared yours, but does anybody else have any other conflicts to declare at this time? Seeing none, moving on to consent agenda. We're going to pull the number 4 for a separate discussion, or consideration rather. So we have 4 items plus 1 that's going to be pulled for consent. Item number 2, this is a second reading and final adoption of the ordinance amending the official zoning map of the city of Livingston, designating the property 1.64 acres located at 23 Campbell Avenue. And number 3 is a consideration of a resolution appointing Diego Castillo as the planning commissioner of the city of Livingston and planning commission. And number 3 is a consideration of a resolution approving the city of Livingston purchase of a new police patrol car. And then number 6 is a consideration of the resolution approving the purchase of new servers and network switches for the police department, City Hall, and City Manager to issue a purchase order to Mid Valley not to exceed $82,375.26. Council, I know it's a consent, any quick question? Okay, I just have a real quick question. I know that on the servers, and I know Mid Valley was in there, I should have got a hold of him, and it's not maybe Jose or Happy, are we using multi-factor authentication at all? Because if you're gonna do this, we need to start using multi-factor authentication. Are we using that? You are? Good. That's all I have. So at this time, then, does the audience have any questions on the consent items? Anybody in the audience? The public, on the phones? No? Then at this time, I'll entertain a motion.
I make the motion to approve the consent agenda items number 2, 3, 5, and 6.
I have a motion by Councilmember Roth. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second by Councilmember Upal. May I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Roth,
Yes.
Councilmember Upal,
Yes.
Councilmember Wallace,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Semmer.
Yes.
Motion passes by a vote of 4-0.
Okay, this is item number 4. Does he have to leave the room? Even for, okay. Monica, would you please note that Councilmember Upal has left the dais?
Yes, at 7:39, Councilmember Upal left the council chambers.
Okay, this is item number 4, consideration of the resolution appointing Jitendra Rahman as alternate to the Livingston Planning Commission. Council, any comments? No. Public, any comments? Anybody on the phone? Not, then I will entertain a motion at this time.
I will make the motion to approve consent agenda item number 4.
I have a motion by Councilmember Roth. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second by Councilmember Wallace. May I have roll call, please?
Roll call, Councilmember Roth,
Yes.
Councilmember Wallace,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Semmer.
Yes,
Motion passes by a vote of 3 and 1 recusal.
thank you. May I have Mr. Upal coming back? For the record, Councilmember Upal is back on the dais at 7:41. This item number 4, discussion and potential action items. This is discussion and direction regarding the type of July 4th festival wanted in 2025. Staff wants direction, so at this time, staff and Jackie, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. As you can see by the staff report, staff is recommending that council provide direction for the type of July festival that they would like held. Staff also makes the recommendation to make a 2 or 3 year out decision on this event, so contracts, budgets, and coordinations can be made in a timely manner. I'm not sure how many of you guys understand that if you want a fireworks show, you need to do it in October for the next year. That's kind of a timeline there. So the July Festival has been an event held and paid for by the city for several decades. The size of the event is varied depending on funding available and if fireworks could be obtained. In 2023, Recreation Superintendent Benoit was able to get a 3-year commitment for a low-level but impactful show. 2025 will be the 3rd year on this contract. For many years, the festival's been directed and managed by a group of volunteers and led by Julio Valadez. He has been able to provide a level of event that, given the workload, the recreation department cannot provide. The festival has had typically a 3-day event to include a carnival, food, merchandise vendors, beer garden, and live entertainment. So the discussion is that the city council has the decision or the discretion to set the size and impact of the event, and staff would like the council to understand as recreation programs grow, the responsibility for 2 full-time recreation department employees is maxed out. The only department assistance would be, that we could provide would be possibly number 1. So the options that I put on here, and you're welcome to add more, of course, but that if we have to do it, then it would be limited to a 1-day event. You could choose a 3-day event as held in the past with a volunteer coordinator or hired paid staff to coordinate it, or no event at all.
Thank you, Jackie. I'm going to go ahead and open up to the public right now. Does anybody in the audience wish to comment on this item? I know that was a pretty hot topic on Facebook, so.
Hello. So, I'm glad I'm not looking at Facebook. I usually try not to respond to anything there because you can never keep everybody happy. Either way, we've been doing this. I do want to clarify. The city has helped the committee. There have been years when the committee raised all the money. Sometimes the city put in some money, but not the full amount. There was some few years also that a sponsor that I brought in, which is 5150, paid for the whole thing, and then the proceeds benefited a local foundation, which normally was not a lot. There was more money put in by 5150 than money coming back. So it's not been paid by the city in full for the last few decades. I came in with Margarita Aguilar, who was a previous council member. She asked me to help out and be the chairman, and then I was suckered to stay for a long time until my son got sick with cancer, and then I had to slow down some while he was going through treatment for 4 years, blah, 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 blah. But anyways, I'll just give feedback so you guys can make your decision. I do want to finish up on last year. So last year, I was allotted $60,000 from the council. And from that, they said that the fireworks, so we'll go back a little bit. I did receive a report from the city that shows that some expenses that I was not aware of, and also that I was not told were going to be factored into the $60,000 that I was allotted. So that would include $8,812.50 to Ashley Macias, who took care of the vendors. Public Works, $5,107. Police Department, $15,000. And then, of course, the fireworks, I was told, was separate from the $60,000. So if you take those out, the expenses were $69,621.47. Minus the and then the revenue that came in was $61,743. So in actuality, if we just look at those numbers, it only cost from the $60,000 $10,611, and that's including paying Foster Love, who was a nonprofit that ran the beer booth. If we pay them the $3,751, which is expenses, and 25% for bringing in volunteers. I did ask local volunteers, like my brothers, Knights of Columbus, and they did not have enough staff. I also asked the Police Foundation, same thing. So we had to look elsewhere, and so we found Foster Love to do that. We did turn in these receipts way back to Erica that were asked for, and we asked anything else that you need so they can be paid, and they were not paid. Now we need they need to turn in an invoice, which we're waiting for, and so if Happy would have been involved since the beginning of that time, I think it would have been taken care of. But anyways, just want to say that. I also want to point out, I know a lot of people talk about why bringing in the carnival, I want to let you know, so again, this is so you can make your decision, what money came in from the carnival company. So they give us a breakdown. So Thursday, which was the 4th that year, it says the 4th. So anyways, it's 4,657 on-site sales were made. Friday, 30,739. Saturday, 18,919, and Sunday, 18,771. Of that, the city gets a percentage. So for advance ticket sales, we get 35%. Somebody had made a contract, by the way, that had a way less percentage being given back to the carnival company, but I was able to talk to Paul Maurer Shows and put those percentages back to what we used to do. So they agreed to change the contract from whoever signed the original one last year. So the total that the city got from the carnival company was $27,055 plus another $685.75, which also in the contract, normally we asked them to pay for vendor booths, which we did not put in the contract this year, or last year, I'm sorry. So that's money that comes in to kind of offset some of the costs. So for example, the carnival itself will pay for the fireworks if they were to come in. I don't know that they're still would want to come back, Paul Maurer Shows. I don't know if the other company that is used for Sweet Potato Festival is available either. So it might be too late to have a carnival anyways. So I have not talked to them. They had called me and I referred them back to the city because I don't really know what, I was not asked any information, so I was just referring them back to the city. So that's, again, just information that I wanted to share. I never had the opportunity to come up and do this and, tell everyone. I had asked the mayor a few times if I could come up and present this so everyone knows what it costs to do the festival. The actual cost, of course, if you include public works and police and so on, it's of course a lot more. But again, for my purposes, in what I was allotted, that was not included, including the fireworks show, which should have been. But either way, if you add the fireworks show, it was still most of the money came back that was spent if you do not include the ones I mentioned. So if you guys have any questions for me, otherwise I'll sit down.
Thank you. Just for the record, Mr. Valadez went over 3 minutes. The reason I allowed it is he was given information as a ex-volunteer, committee member, or whatever. So I allowed it to go over 3 minutes because you were given financial information that we need to make our discussion. That's the reason I'll let you go over 3 minutes.
Thank you.
That's where the public knows, okay?
I appreciate it. And I appreciate that you did so that people understand and you guys can make your decision based on more information.
But what I was wanting the public to know was not favoritism, it was just to show that we were information that we need. So at this time, does the public, anybody else have any questions?
Hello, Joey Chavez once again. First of all, I want to thank Julio for what he does. He's my brother Knight. We do a lot in the community here with the Knights of Columbus. And there's nothing, nothing to say bad about this event. I've been here for almost 20 plus years in Livingston. It's a great event. I'm here to support Jackie as a rec professional. I work for the city of Ceres as a director of Parks and Rec. I put on many of these events in Ceres. I know what it takes, a lot of staff costs, police costs. We're going through that stuff now because they got a hot air balloon, Ceres Street Fair. I know what the cost is for cities. And I know recreations were at the bottom of the list, we're at the budget, so I understand that. My thing is, nothing against Julio going to like the beer garden for the 3 days. I would support him if we did a one-day event. I just can't be away from my family for 3 days. It's a lot. It's a lot. If we did a one-day event, I'm in. I'll volunteer for anything. But a 3-day event is just too hard to get a lot of my guys together. And a lot of my Knights would jump on it, but it's 3 days. That's the only thing. I like the one-day event, just to have the one-day event, boom, go, have tens of thousands of people come celebrate here in Livingston and leave. even though it's just a one-day event, we're still going to be on the map. We put one of the best shows on, and the community is big. They thrive on it. The other thing, yes, it's that sport complex. There's a lot of people that don't like to come up and talk. They would love to see it at Memorial. You got the stage there. You don't have to rent stage. You can block off streets from Park to Main Street, and then also from Main to J Street. You can block that whole area off for vendors, have the people open up the baseball field. I think it would be a great atmosphere. I know we outgrown it, but that's where the community likes to see it. And I hear from a lot of people who hears it. It's nothing to get what he does. Believe me, I appreciate what he does. It's just a lot of people hear it, and a lot of people don't like to come and talk in front of this because they're afraid. And so, I seen, I said, I got to come and support Jackie, the city. This is my town. This is my hometown. I'll do anything. It's just, I would like to see a one-day event. Thank you.
You know what? I shouldn't, but go ahead. Just 30 seconds, okay, Julio?
Of course, real quick. So the reason that one of the main reasons that it was moved over here is because 2 new buildings were built at the high school where we used to shoot the fireworks off from. So that was the new gym and that 2-story building. The fireworks, however high they go, that's how much space you need away from houses and buildings. So it could no longer be held there because whatever way you go, there's buildings there. So it's more of a fire hazard. And I did have people come to my personal house and say, look, this landed on my house. Remnants of fireworks show. So I just wanted to let you know why, one of the main reasons it was moved.
Thank you. And Julio and everybody's absolutely correct. A lot of people do want it to be downtown, but 2 reasons it was moved. One was that the shells, the fragments were landing in people's backyards, and so people were getting upset about that. And then second, there are times that it conflicts with the Portuguese festival too. So it becomes, they're trying to do that, it just becomes too crowded downtown, and that was one of the reasons it moved. Not to say that it can't be brought back, but that was one of the reasons it was moved. So thank you. Anybody else from the public that wish to comment, please?
Hi, so I've been the vendor coordinator for 2 years already. So I did do it for a 3-day event, and I've done it for a 1-day event as well with Jackie. And I think a 1-day event is better just because a 3-day event, we get more revenue on vendors, but a lot of the vendors don't make their profit back because we don't get a lot of customers for 3 days. It's hot during that time, and we hardly get people. So I think 1 day is way better because you get everything. The fireworks show, vendors, the same thing that a 3-day event has, and everyone gets something. So the vendors do make their profit for a 1-day event.
Thank you. Anybody else in the audience? If not, anybody on the phone? Hearing no one, it is now closed to the public. Council, Mr. Ruppel?
Mr. Roth, look, he was ready to comment. You can go first.
If you can go, Mr. Roth.
Okay, just a real quick question, a couple of them actually. Jackie, you stated that fireworks, normally we should pre-order them around October. What's the chances that we can get them at this date?
I've got them.
Okay.
We need to make a decision for a few years out if we possibly can. Because it's tough. Every year we come in about this time, it's like, are we, aren't we, are we? And then it puts pressure and.
Thank you.
Yeah, so half of the payment has already been made. So as Jackie said, the fireworks are secured for this year. And if it makes a difference, I don't know, but I just throw it out. We were approached by the Air Pollution Control District, and I know the chief and his staff have been working to see if there could be, you know, a drone show. Of course, it's not the same, but just wanted to share that because that is something that we were approached with an opportunity. And whether it's the 4th of July or some other event, that's on the table. And if you have any questions on that, we can certainly share some more.
Okay. Mr. Rock, continue.
One more question. How prepared are we right now to do a 2 to 3 day event? Just, in all honesty, if we're not prepared, I mean, I understand.
I can't.
Got it.
I cannot.
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Rock? Councilmember Rupo?
Yeah, thank you. Really want to thank the folks that have volunteered and came out to speak. It means a lot that you continue to put in that time, that everybody's willing to do it. And it also it's really helpful for us to hear what you have to say from your experience, because I've never ran that event and I've never coordinated it, right? But I have to vote on how it's done. So it means a lot to hear from you guys on what you want and need. Had a very open and honest conversation with Jackie yesterday. Jackie, thanks for taking some time away from your lunch. We both scarfed down food pretty quick to get there. We're 2.5 months away from July. Based on what staff, volunteers, and just the general timeline, just does not seem feasible for a 3-day event. Facebook was mentioned earlier. Shout out to Catherine Shaw Rodriguez for doing like a mini poll. In her comments, a lot of folks were supportive of a 1-day event. I ran a mini poll on Instagram, which is by no means a legitimate statistical sample. That crowd kind of favored a 3-day event. However, they don't pay property taxes like the Facebook folks. And so maybe their opinion doesn't have as much weight. And again, timeline, capacity, I just feel like the 1-day event is much more feasible. Jackie made a comment yesterday that I really liked, like quantity over quality. I think we can hopefully pull off a really nice 1-day event. And then going forward, we're gonna have to renew this contract for fireworks in the fall. Maybe we start some sort of committee before December in the fall time to start planning out for next year. If folks really do want a 3-day event to come back, the community will have the opportunity to participate. But for now, I am supportive of the 1 day. And if we can include in our direction to make sure that we mark our calendars to bring this back sometime in the fall to start planning early for next year, let's do that as well, please.
Thank you. Mr. Wallace?
Just one quick question, Jackie, or Ashley. If we went to the 1-day event, I would assume it would be Saturday on the 5th. Would the carnival want to come in and open just for Friday night and Saturday? Or, because they're going to have to set up sometime, so I need to...
They want
No,
3-day
no.
minimum.
Not worth it for them, okay. So they would come in, set up Friday, be open on Saturday, and go home on Sunday? Not at all. For 1 day, it's not worth them at all. Okay, that answers that question, thank you.
Mr. Sumner, real quick.
Yeah,
Quick
please.
discrepancy. Mr. Wallace is assuming it's on the 5th. I know we mentioned that we were thinking the 4th.
The show we
Are
have
we set on the 4th?
for the 4th.
Okay.
And that's what the public keeps telling us. We want it on the 4th. We want the event on the 4th.
Yeah, okay. Councilmember Opal, anything further? Thank you. And for me, I think 3 days is too long. I was open to 2, but the way things are right now, I think 1 day is probably going to be the best, Jackie. And as always.
Well, since Joey said that he's going to help now, I'm all for one.
Wait a minute.
I know, for the record, it's nothing like Julio. The reason why I'm saying a 1-day event is because I know how much this guy does. He's not a one-man show, and he does a lot for the city, and he's not getting enough credit for it. I'm looking out for him as a brother. That's why I'm saying a 1-day event. That's my reason for him, and he knows it. But he won't. Yeah. That's the reason why I'm here.
Thank you.
is I'm willing to help on a one-day event.
Okay,
That-
thank you.
Thank you.
For me, I was open either way. I mean, it sounds like one day is going to be our best option. A couple of suggestions, Jackie, for us is I know that we use security, of course, and they try to wand everybody. We need to make it more efficient to where people are not backed out for an hour. You know, I don't know if they can use metal detectors you can just walk through instead of being hand scanned or something, because it is, people line up and they're saying, hey, can I cut in? No, you can't cut in. But then a lot of people, the event already started, the fireworks, everything started, and they were still waiting and trying to get through security. So we got to figure out a way to get folks in as quickly as possible. So I don't know what the solution is going to be. Hold on a second, Julio. I'm going to ask. So I think that's what we need to do, and maybe we can kind of figure something out. Julio, go ahead.
Okay, guys, you know I've been doing this since 2010, I believe, okay? And I learned a lot. It changed. We molded it to what it became, and then COVID just killed it, right? And my lack of time for a little bit. So a couple things. One, vendor-wise, when you put in the money, I learned, because I used to always say, no, we can't spend this money, we can't. But you got to spend money to make money. And so we grew it to what it was. So when we had entertainment all 3 days, the vendors made money. Believe me, they made a lot. That's why they kept coming back. And I had vendor meetings where they suggested, hey, let's charge $1,500 because they knew they were going to make a lot of money. So just to clear that up. The other thing about what you're saying, we also tested that. We used to start at 3 p.m. I did a car show one year or a few years where it was at 10 a.m. So we tested a lot of things. They worked out. You were there. I remember in those videos. Go to YouTube and you'll see yourself there. But your question, we tried to see what would get the people there early. They will not go because of what Ashley said. It's too hot.
Yeah.
They will not. So they're last minute, and that's why. So the only way that you can fix that is get a bunch of lines coming in, because the people not only coming in, but traffic-wise, you'll see them stuck outside because they came in last minute. So it's very hard to fix that. We tried for years to fix the people coming in at the last minute, and it's because it's hot.
Yeah, thank you. And Chief, I know you know, and what security use, they use a handheld wand to scan everybody, but they also have these Megatrons you can rent, and that people can just walk through. If they trigger it, they're scanned further, or we can just simply go through. I think that makes it easier, because people don't want to come out early because it's hot, and now they're standing in line, you know, so we're trying to get them in. So we need, that's our choke point, as it were, you know. We got to figure out how to do that. So I'll leave it up to the city to figure out how we can get that, or any volunteers, how we can funnel through. And if it's renting extra equipment, then so be it, you know, just, okay? And to me, at this time, council, I kind of hear what we do. So at this time, any further discussion?
One quick comment, please.
Sure.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't have a set budget set aside for the event right now. Aside from the deposit that we put on the fireworks, it's kind of just, we'll get. And so what I'd ask of Jackie and the volunteers who are going to put in the time to help get this together is just, I'd say just let us know what you need, and we'd have to take it from there. It's really unfortunate that we only have 2.5 months left, but I don't want us to end up in a situation where we're on the brink and it's like, okay, now let's just do what we got to do. So just depending on your time and your capacity, let us know what you need, and then budget-wise, hopefully we can take care of it as soon as we can on our end. Thank you.
Council, any further comments, suggestions, motions?
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion to make it a one-day event.
So you're saying number one, is that what you're asking?
Correct.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilmember Roth. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
I have a second by Councilmember Hupel. May I have roll call, please?
Roll call, Councilmember Roth,
Yes.
Councilmember Upal,
Yes.
Councilmember Wallace,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Semmer.
Yes.
Motion passes by a vote of 4-0.
Okay, and the last item, as it was reported out by Mr. Santos, they have decided to tender their resignation to City of Livingston for legal services. That means we have to work on recruitment of another legal firm, so we have a discussion and direction regarding the recruitment process for city attorney services.
Yes, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, just a quick comment. This particular RFP is almost exactly as what was put out when Mr. Santos' firm was hired. There was one minor addition that staff wanted to add, and Happy, do you remember the page? As we find out which page it is, it just basically what we suggest to add in there was basically a 30-day turnaround for items of urgency that might pop up, and that was it. So other than that, it's the exact same RFP.
What page was that on? I'm sorry.
Let me see if staff remembers what page. Sorry for the delay. I will just. Okay, 163 should be on the bottom of your page there. Okay. Yeah, all tasks assigned to the city attorney shall be completed within 30 days from the date of assignment. If the 30-day timeline is not doable for the project assigned, the city attorney will inform the city manager and the city council immediately and provide an update on when the assignment will be completed. Agenda review and approval shall be completed within 24 hours of the date provided or sooner if possible. So that was the only addition. And again, it's just a suggestion. You can either have it removed or leave it.
Okay, that's the only change, correct? Council, any comments? Japjit?
Mr. Ramirez, no issues at all with that addition. Happy to motion to approve to sending out this RFP, but before doing so, just wanted to make a quick comment. Roy's resignation will be official some date in June. I can't remember which one. 11th. Just want to make a quick comment on his integrity. He let us know that if we don't have an attorney hired before that date, he is willing to continue until we make sure that that person is in place permanently full time. He doesn't have to do that. And I think it just says a lot about who Roy is and his commitment to the city. So Roy, thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Councilmember Roth, any comments?
No.
Mr. Wallace? For me, I think we need to go ahead and get this out as quickly as possible, and if approved, Mr. Ramirez, when will this get submitted for bids?
We can certainly get it out this week. I don't foresee us not having this done by tomorrow, and then do it one last review and then send it out the following day. So it'll go out this week.
Okay, and so just to make sure, we're putting RFP ourselves. We're not hiring a firm to do this for us. We're just doing it ourselves. Is that correct? I know the other, I just wanted to be.
That is correct.
I understand, so, okay. We don't have a choice because we need to get this over. And once again, Mr. Santos, thank you again for not putting us under, hey, we got to get this. This gives us a little bit of a breathing room to make sure that we pick a firm that's at least equitable to what you are, that matches yours. So that gives us time to look for somebody. Thank you. And for me, I don't have a problem with that. So I don't know if I called for motion, but Do I have a motion to, I have a motion by Councilmember Upel. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second by Councilmember Roth. May I have roll call, please?
Your motion was to move forward with the RFP, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Roll call, Councilmember Roth,
Yes.
Councilmember Upal,
Yes.
Councilmember Wallace,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Samar.
Yes.
Motion passes by a vote of 4-0.
Okay, that is,
Can you open public comment?
well, we already voted, but it is open to the public for comment. Sorry about folks, I'm a little rusty, I haven't done this for a bit. Does anybody in the public have any comment? Anybody on the phone? If not, then council, any future agenda items? If not, then at 8:15, we're in adjournment. Thank you. Huh? Oops.